welcome to RANsquawk's morning briefing for Wednesday, the 16th of September 2009. It's currently around 9 o'clock now in London, so a little recap of the overnight news and where we stand at the moment. We're off to a pretty good start following the yearly high finish on the US stock market yesterday, which also transcended into a higher finish in the Nikkei. Of course, we did see yesterday the stronger than expected or the jump in retail sales in the US allied to the improvement in the Empire manufacturing reports. That as well, with most of the UK papers commenting on that speech by Bernanke yesterday in his anniversary of a year in the face of the crisis, where he did say that technically the recession is over. Again, with the Nikkei higher, the UK and European equity markets are trading stronger at the moment. But most notably, one of the major events that has happened in the early hours has been comments out of the newly put in place finance minister in Japan, Fuji, who has said that a stronger yen has merits for the Japanese economy and they're not in favour of a weaker yen. Fuji also noted that there's no plan to alter the composition of foreign reserves. Some pretty important comments there, given the change in political party in Japan. Obviously, that is quite a change in direction. Fuji there saying that a strong yen has its merits for Japan economy and opposed to Forex intervention if Forex moves gradual, so somewhat tapering some of the expectations of potential intervention in Japanese currency, and therefore we have seen the yen rally strengthen across the board. Dollar yen itself has seen a gradual 70 pip move lower on the news. Euro yen also trading lower. In turn, with that and with the positive equity news following from US yesterday, we have seen in the currency markets yearly highs printed in both Aussie and Kiwi dollar, and the dollar index at the moment currently down 0.2 on the session is trading as well at a 1-year low this morning. That in turn has given commodities a lift. So basic materials is the outperforming or is driving the stock move higher. At the moment in spot gold trading up around $1,000.17 at the moment, with WCI crude futures also pairing overnight losses to trade in the positive territory at the moment. So taking just a quick recap in terms of the stories that happened overnight. Former Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan, he said he is concerned that lawmakers will hamper US central bank efforts to rein in its monetary policy stimulus, and that inflation might swamp the bond market, further adding that the US national debt is at a very dangerous level. Elsewhere, US government expects the next batch of big bank TARP approvals will come near the end of the year, according to sources on Reuters. And also, the Wall Street Journal reports that Treasury expected, or is expected, to begin winding down supplementary financing programs, currently around $200 billion, to delay hitting the $12.1 trillion debt ceiling. In terms of UK-related news, obviously, much taking a precedence from the King comments from yesterday. Front page of the FT reported that King rules out a rapid economic recovery, as well as stories on Brown pretty much going in line there with Darling and Mandelson saying there will be spending cuts in the UK. Other than that, obviously one of the major movers, and we're still seeing pressure in the 2-year yield in the UK, again printing a new record low. Those comments in regards to reserve and of the Bank of England may be mulling a cut in deposit rates. It did give a boost yesterday to the short end. It's been covered in the FT Lex column today entitled Negative Interest Rates. They though say that taxing bank reserves could encourage greater lending, although that is not necessarily the case. Lex column says that banks might prefer to lose 0.25% a year than make loans in recession when losses could be far higher. They also might pass the cost on to depositors via higher charges. In terms of some individual stock news to be aware of for Lloyds Banking Group, in the Times today, the European Commission has warned that the company may have to split off Halifax as punishment for the billions of pounds of state aid it has received. For Barclays, Lehman's said that Barclays has got $8.2 billion windfall profit from excess assets it took control of in the fire sale of Lehman's US brokerage business a year ago. For Tullow Oil, they're performing well again today. Again, a lot of papers picking up on those rumours that we did point out during the session of potential interest from ENI in a takeover bid. However, nothing confirmed on that front. But in further new news, Tullow Oil and Anadarko Petroleum may disclose as early as today the establishment of a new oil field find off the west coast of Africa, according to the FT. Next, they're also performing well. The high street retailer in the UK said first half pre-tax profit £185.5 million. That was above expectations. They also upgraded their full-year guidance on net operating margins. Also, for some of the pharma stocks, Sanofi and Novartis have approved US FDA approval for their H1N1 vaccine. Looking ahead then for the calendar, in terms of 9:30 we'll get the latest jobless data out of the UK. Obviously, the weekend press did speculate that unemployment should be set to rise to 2.5 million in terms of UK numbers. From the Eurozone at 10 o'clock, we'll see the CPI alongside the Italian current account and Swiss AW survey. We'll then see at midday the NBA mortgage app weekly number from the US alongside Bloomberg global confidence number for September. 1:30 from the US will be the CPI numbers for August, and that'll be alongside Canadian manufacturing sales. 2 o'clock, London will see the US TICS data, followed by industrial production and capacity utilisation. Then we'll have the Department of Energy's all inventory numbers. That'll be due at the usual time, 3:30. And then to round the session off, 6 o'clock, we'll see the NAHB Housing Market Index. This morning as well, in terms of fixed income, we'll be eyeing the German €5 billion Bund auction, usual time around 10 o'clock. And then further reverse auctions this afternoon from the Bank of England and the Fed.